Welcome to today's Explainer. In the tech world, we're pretty used to seeing things move at lightning speed, right? Fast rollouts, crazy innovation, and maybe a quiet discontinuation months down the line. But what we're looking at today? It's a literal record-breaking retreat by one of the biggest tech giants on the planet. We're talking about Meta, and a brand new AI product that honestly barely saw the light of day before the whole shebang was yanked from the ecosystem.
So what exactly happens when a massive AI feature from a powerhouse like Meta lasts just 4 days? Imagine waking up, opening your favorite social media app, and boom, realizing your public photos are automatically becoming fodder for a brand new AI generator. You didn't sign up for it, you didn't click yes, but suddenly your digital life is just part of the machine. That's exactly the wild scenario that triggered this rapid 72-hour downfall. It's really the perfect case study in how fast public sentiment can force a massive corporation to just completely hit the brakes. Section 1. Enter Meta's Muse image. Okay, let's take a look at this timeline because it brilliantly illustrates the rapid rise and fall we're talking about today. We're tracking a major, highly engineered software rollout to a complete and total shutdown in less than a work week. On Tuesday, we get the grand reveal. By Wednesday and Thursday, the internet is absolutely boiling over with this massive privacy backlash. And by Friday morning, the feature is completely dead, discontinued. Honestly, it is incredibly rare to see a company with Meta's immense resources pivot this aggressively and this fast. To understand the initial hype and, well, the subsequent panic, we have to look at what this feature could actually do. This wasn't just some minor update. This was the premier image generation model straight out of Meta Superintelligence Labs, and they integrated it directly into the Meta AI chatbot. It allowed users to edit those generated images right there through sketches, making it a super interactive, highly personalized creative tool. But the core hook? Using public Instagram photos as input. That is exactly where the foundation started to crack. That public photo input was just a bridge too far.
Section 2. The automatic opt-in problem. So what actually went wrong? With such a powerful tool right at users' fingertips, it instantly hit a massive roadblock regarding how it sourced its data. Look, you can build the most incredible, mind-blowing AI in the world, but if the foundation of your training data makes people uncomfortable, well, the technology simply won't survive the court of public opinion. We always hear the phrase data is the new oil in this AI arms race, right? But this specific rollout proved that people are absolutely starting to fiercely guard the well. The absolutely crucial point here is that millions of users were opted in automatically. Just let that sink in for a second. If you had a public Instagram account that Tuesday, your photos were automatically eligible to be processed and utilized by Muse Image. There was zero pop-up asking for proactive consent. It was just the default setting. And as you can imagine, this instantly sparked massive fears over how personal data, faces, and creative works were being leveraged without explicit affirmative permission from the people who actually own that digital footprint.
Section 3. Hollywood speaks out.
Emmy-winning actor Hannah Inbinder, who you might know from the hit show Hacks, she immediately took to her own Instagram account. She sounded the alarm to individual creators and fans alike about the automatic nature of this tool. Her message was super simple but very urgent, pointing out that it had been turned on automatically and explicitly urging her followers to go deep into their settings and turn it off. When high-profile creators start mobilizing their audiences against your new feature on day 2, yeah, you've got a really serious problem. Now, what's really fascinating here is the sheer institutional weight that was brought down by the SAG-AFTRA union. We aren't just talking about a single disgruntled user anymore. This is the massive union representing actors and media professionals worldwide. They heavily criticize Meta, stating publicly that anything less than a clear and conspicuous opt-in is just entirely unacceptable. They actually went so far as to call it an utter miscalculation of public sentiment. They pointed directly to the inherent harms and dangers of using people's images this way. That is a massive institutional red flag being waved right in Meta's face.
Section 4. Meta pulls the plug.
This perfectly contrasts Meta's stated goal right against their rapid admission of defeat. On the left side, you've got their defense, right? Their intent was to provide a useful creative tool and give people control over whether their public content could be referenced. But look at the reality over on the right. By Friday morning, Meta released a statement basically acknowledging that they heard the feedback, the feature clearly missed the mark, and effectively immediately it was no longer available. Just a total absolute capitulation to the privacy backlash. And following that extremely swift cancellation, SAG-AFTRA immediately applauded the reversal.
Their spokesperson explicitly pointed out the danger of non-consensual digital replicas, which, as we know, is a massive flashpoint in the current era of generative AI. They noted that a feature encouraging that kind of behavior is incredibly unwise, and they praised Meta's rapid discontinuance as the responsible thing to do. So the immediate crisis was averted, sure, but the underlying implications of the whole event definitely remained.
Section 5. The future of AI consent. Ultimately, this whole incident solidifies a growing, undeniable mandate across the industry. Tech companies can no longer just assume consent when training or utilizing artificial intelligence on public data. The days of burying an opt-out toggle deep, deep down in some confusing settings menu, these are ending. This 4-day experiment proved that users, creators, and massive institutions are absolutely demanding clear, upfront control over their publicly shared content. If the tech industry wants to integrate AI into our daily social media experiences, the default setting simply has to respect the user's agency first and foremost. To wrap up today's explainer, I really want to leave you pondering your own digital presence. I mean, we all share parts of our lives online, right? But as AI tools become hungrier and hungrier for data, the lines of ownership are getting pretty blurry. Just think about the photos you post today. Could they literally become the raw material for a massive AI generation tool tomorrow? And more importantly, will you actually be given the choice before it happens? It's a huge question every tech company is scrambling to answer right now. And as we saw with Meta this week, getting it wrong can cost you your brand new product in literally 4 days. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive. And hey, keep an eye on your privacy settings.